Midwestern Cowboy. This is Iron Horse. Thanks for watching. I'm preparing to go the distance now. That's one of the reasons why I bought this bike, is it'll go the distance. And one of the things I added was these right here, these front highway pegs mounted right onto the crash bar. They're kind of chrome and gaudy looking, but I'm going to test them out today. And this is the highway life. I've got my front highway pegs on, and see my feet both out in front of me there? That is really nice. For an old guy like me, when I ride this bike, one thing I've noticed is that my knees are tucked under me, and I've got bad knees anyway, and long legs. So I think that kind of makes for an uncomfortable ride sometimes. I knew that was going to be an issue when I got this bike. On the Harley, I had to have my feet out, stretched out in front of me. I was pretty comfortable that way. But what I like about this now, I've got my feet out in front, I'm on the highway, so you really got to watch it, because you can't cover your brakes very quickly. You've got to get your foot back again, right? And but I'm sitting more upright on this bike with my feet out in front of me, and I'm just very comfortable. I think I could go the distance on this setup. Probably ride for hours this way. It really feels good. One of the ways that we prepare to go the distance is to think about foods that you can keep that don't need to be refrigerated, that you can buy and put in your saddlebags, your panniers, or your top box. And hey, it'll ride with you all day long until you get to that stopping point, which for me, sometimes it'll be a hotel, but the campground idea really appeals too. So I bought some canned chicken. I got some egg noodles, dry egg noodles. I got some Idahoan just add water instant mashed potatoes, the loaded baked potato flavor. And then some chicken broth. All of that will keep certainly as long as I'm going to ride. So I'm going to go home now and then start a campfire in the grill, kind of a bushcraft campfire, and cook this stuff up. Then we'll eat it later on. That ought to be pretty tasty. Probably, if you're going to go the distance, the interstate system is probably the fastest way to get anywhere that you're going. However, I much more prefer the two-lane highways and back roads. I think you get a chance to see a little bit more and experience a little bit more on those back two-lane highways and back roads. So perhaps a recommendation is to mix it up. Jump on the interstate and make some mileage. Get to the general area where you're going to ride, and then get off the interstate. That's the sort of thing that I envision doing as I prepare to become a distance rider. See, like right now, I've got my feet on the forward controls here. You see that or not? I'm going to move them back now to the brakes and the downshifter. So now that I can get back to riding in an area where you need to cover the brakes. I like these highway pegs. Really, really very comfortable for an old guy like me. Okay, so I got back from the grocery store. I've got all the stuff here that we need to buy or to use here in the top box. This is all really easy stuff. It'll keep too. Idahoan loaded baked potatoes. We've got chicken broth, fat-free even. Noodles. And some canned meat, canned chicken. So, first thing we got to do is get our fire started and I just got it here in the grill right now, but I got it all set up. I got my tinder, and then some light kindling, and then some heavier wood too. Let's see if we can't get this fire started. Be easier on a campground with lots of space. Okay. Doesn't take it long to go. There we go. Okay, we got a good fire going now, so I think we'll go ahead and get food on. First thing we're going to do is get some water boiling for the mashed potatoes. Boy, that ought to really be good. Well, there we go. Now the water's on. So we'll take our chicken broth and our noodles. You guys ready to eat? Oops. Somebody wouldn't mind going and getting a can opener, would they? Well, so now we're boiling good. We'll stir this up here. It's just about ready. Okay, I'm going to pull the chicken and noodles off now. And the water's boiling too, so we'll bring that over here and we'll get ready to mix up our mashed potatoes. All right, so we've got everything cooked up now. The water's hot. Now we're just going to mix our baked potatoes. It says 2 cups of water per bag, and I put 4 cups of water in. Some of it boiled off, so what I'll do is put a whole bag in first. Then we'll use this bag to make sure that the consistency's right. Stir that up nice. And there's my neighbor out on his bike. He's probably wondering what I'm doing out in the backyard with a helmet on. That right there looks just about right. Oh, that looks good. And just like that, we have a good home-cooked meal that keeps well. None of it has to be refrigerated. We'll let this cool down and then we're ready to eat. Well, so a good day out in the yard. The kids are playing ball, and we had good food too. Now I admit, I'm at home, so I had pots and pans and all of that, and this little table that I made up over here. You wouldn't have that on the bike. You'd want to bushcraft something out of whatever is locally available. But this was a pretty good meal altogether, I would say. Even Goosey enjoyed it. Midwestern Cowboy, this is Iron Horse. Thanks for watching.